Evening all, it's Mike from Ability Tackle again. I'm here for May's products of the month. As I said in the last video, it's going to be the Chod hook. Here it is. Obviously that's going to be quite small, hard for you to see. Why do I think this is a great product? Basically because it's caught me a lot of fish. If I'm honest, when I first saw it, I didn't think it was going to be that great. However, I've had a changed opinion in my mind through my own angling. Currently this month so far I have had 31 fish. I think maybe 4 of them have been on other hooks, whether it be the curve or the classic. But all the ones I have had on the Chod hook have been absolutely nailed. Bottom centre, never coming out. What can I tell you about the Ability Chod hook? It is slightly different to most other Chod hooks on the market. The offset eye that all Chod hooks have is a slightly greater angle compared to that of other hooks, and also the interns beak point as such. It's obviously beak point but not as beaked as other ones on the market, allowing obviously to go in and stay in quite well. How have I been using this? If you've been following me on Facebook or Instagram, or even reading the catch reports on the Ability page, you'll probably know that this is the rig that I've been using it with. Pop-up rig. Don't know what the rig's actually called itself, but it's basically a multi-rig with a Chod filament for the hook section. So how do I tie this? So I first of all get a length of Chod filament, probably around 6 inches or so, and then I'll fold it in half completely, and then that will give me a crease. From there, from the crease, I'll measure normally around 3 centimeters, and then double over both there. So I'll essentially have a piece where there's 4 strands all together. I'll get myself then semi-stiff coated braid. That's normally the one I would use. However, it would work with soft coated braid as well, or even a stiff coated braid. I just prefer semi-stiff just because it allows a little bit of movement, because I'm normally fishing in sort of siltier areas or areas with a bit of chod on the bottom. And I will strip back around 4 inches. It doesn't really matter too much because you're actually going to only need a very small amount of this actually stripped. It just allows making of a tie in it a lot easier. So I'll then all bright knot it to all 4 strands. So I'll go through 2, I'll whip it up 5 times, pinch it, whip back down 3 times. Now that bit's really important, because what will happen otherwise is when you pull it tight it will slip completely out and you'll need to get a new Chod filament section. One key thing as well is obviously with all knots, especially those with fluorocarbons and monos, is make sure you moisten them up, otherwise they'll damage the materials themselves. But when I'm actually pulling the coated braid through to do the all bright knot, I make sure that the separation between the coated and uncoated section is all the way up to the Chod filament. That's a really important part as well. So when you come to tighten it down and really bed it in, it will give you a very small uncoated section, as you can see here, which gives you a lot of movement. Now I believe that's a really key part to how this rig's mechanics works in the water itself. Obviously, as you can see there, I've got the majority of it coated with just a very small part uncoated at the end. Then thread on the anti-tangle sleeve and then tie a figure of 8 loop knot in the end to whatever length I want it to be. Normally I have them around 7 to 8 inches long. That's how most of my rigs are. Only if I think that they may need tweaking slightly, whether they need shortening or lengthening, would I then change that. But 9 times out of 10, 7 or 8 inches does me fine. And then obviously that gives you essentially the hook length material completely ready. What I then do is I will, obviously where I've got the Chod filament folded over at the end, I'll thread that through the eye of the Chod hook, and then I will feed on then either a rig screw or a rig ring swivel, which I have been using a lot recently, with a match the hatch pop up with a little corn topper, which has catching me a lot of fish recently as well, instead of just the bright singles. And then obviously, as you would do with any multi-rig, thread that back over the point of the eye, and that's your rig ready to go. Where do I position the chod filament? Normally it's just opposite the barb. I find that about the best place, and it will then sit absolutely bob on when you counterweight it with the putty on the bottom. And I look for it to just ever so slightly sink through the water, like so. And that'll give me 9 times out of 10 the best presentation. Only if I think it's really choddy, where I maybe slightly overweight it, have it sinking on the bottom really quickly. Obviously stop it getting caught up in the water. But yeah, that's this month's product of the month, the Ability Chod hook. Give it a look up on the website. I can guarantee you'll love them, and the price for them is more competitive than anything else on the market, I'd say. And yeah, definitely a product to look out for.